the tours are full. I don't think they were full the last time we've had that. So we were right at 74 people. We didn't have any handicap accessible or handicap needs, so that won't change our numbers. So we have closed the tours, closed the registrations. We're not able to do wait lists just because we are using the 4 city buses that we had. I think it's a conversation we can have for next year, but I think there's still a lot of logistics with 74 people that we need to work through. So I for one am happy with where we are for those tours.
Again, they're departing. They're going to depart from the senior center now.
Right.
Drop off here or drop off.
We talked about having them drop off downtown, and maybe it's we can. I think the next step for kind of the committee that's been working on the tours is we need to get together and we need to really talk about the logistics piece of it, because I think there's a lot of logistics now that come with. And Colleen did do a run through tour for us. We hosted the GoCo board of directors, and she kind of went through her script, and it was a rainy night. And it wasn't the best weather, but we did see a tarantula. So ate one tarantula. But
box turtle.
And a box
Yay,
turtle.
no
and
kidding.
A double
That's
rainbow. So
Yeah,
This
There
past
we go.
weekend,
There you
Dr.
go.
Nolan went down to, I think he said Walsenburg, and he saw 15 on the highway, so they're starting to.
And I can tell you from my run through, it went so fast that I barely got started. So the stuff that I sent you earlier is way too much.
And on your tour though, we only went to Bogo Canyon.
Yeah.
So it was a very shortened tour. But yes, it was.
Yeah. But anyway, that was the only thing. But I thought if we had a chance to stop for him, that would be awesome.
Absolutely.
And then, yeah, go ahead.
So that was one of the things we discussed, since Gallus is kind of our adopted expert that we've asked to help with, that instead of him being on a bus, it would be helpful if he's in a location. And we were kind of looking at the map, and I think once the tour committee gets together to discuss that, we can, with Dallas's feedback, we can find the best place. I know something was mentioned maybe about walkie-talkies, so maybe this would be a good thing we can discuss, so that where they're seen or if we are, and I know the buses can communicate, so I think, again, there's just a lot of logistics that we need to now figure out.
Yeah, it'd be good if his location is at where there is a tarantula.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can arrange that.
Yeah. I know where the
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll use my big magnet and pull
There
the
you
trackers
go.
off.
We have gotten an unknown amount of Tarantula Fest vendors. There was a little hiccup between the collection of the forms and then the payment. So people have been coming and paying here, which I think they confirmed 14. And then I've probably received another handful to my email address that I'm not sure if they're paid, maybe anywhere between an additional 8 and 10. So the good news is we're gonna have vendors. I just don't know the right amount. There also has been interest in the parade as well. And so I don't know the exact number of that, but we've had interest. So that's kind of the main thing on that. The banners are done, but we're waiting for those to be hung up. I will follow up with that again.
Yeah, I asked the city to help out with that last week, so I'm hoping they get up today.
Trying to think on the other things that I've been working on. There have not been any registrations for the bike
On the bike
tour.
ride, yeah.
I mean, I just check every day, and
Okay.
there's a link out there on the Facebook event, same way that we promoted the tours. It just hasn't gotten any responses. Still people reaching out about the tours, done a lot of media interviews surrounding both the tarantula season and the tours, and have since said that they're closed. So
Did Jenny get in contact with you about a booth for the informational booth for Dr. Cushing and everything? Or was that Angela? I think I put her in touch with Angela, and I don't know.
I haven't, for the pavilion.
Yeah, the informational booth is supposed. She was wondering more about, because we told her no spider sales or anything like that. but we did say an informational booth would be good. I didn't know if she ever got in contact, and I wanted to make sure she did with somebody to make sure she had.
I wrote her name down because I still wasn't completely sure what the scheduling was for that.
Okay.
But no, I haven't heard from Paula or Kelly.
Okay, well, Paul is planning on definitely being there in support of the booth, the informational booth. But I
Okay.
didn't know if they had a spot. That's all I'm trying to say.
They will, but I need information. I sent everything
Mhm.
out to people.
And you got my response, right? I responded back to you via email a while back.
I'll look and see.
Okay.
For her.
I think so. That was what it was about.
Okay, I'll go back.
I hope
Sometimes
I
I
didn't
look
type it
at.
and didn't hit send.
Yeah, well, or sometimes things go in my trash. I'll go through my trash thing again. I found a couple of things in there.
I just wanted to make sure that they had
Yeah.
booths since we were on booths.
Yeah.
So
Do you know how many tables they'll need?
I wouldn't think more than one.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah,
Electricity or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Okay. And there'll be at least.
Again, it's really more gonna be run by Miss Stevenson, is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be run by her, and Paul is gonna be there more in support.
Is
I
that
think.
Kelly? Is
Yeah,
that Stevenson?
And I think Dallas was also gonna help them out if
Yeah.
need be,
Okay.
if they need extra support.
So there could be three. I'll just put 4 down and it'll keep us.
I just wanted to make sure they had a spot, that's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I have her on my list, so.
Sorry. I didn't-
Yeah.
No, you're good. There's no real agenda. We're just kind of,
Print those forms for the parade.
The ones who have registered?
No, just a blank
Yes,
one.
yes.
Because she gave me one, and I tried to print it, and the information was on the next page.
okay.
I don't know
I
if
can
it
do
was
that before I leave.
mine.
Which form?
It was the form for the parade. Remember, I made a copy and sent to you because they're kind of weird.
Oh.
Then, yeah, so I was gonna fill it out, but then my printer's not hooked up right now, so
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh.
so we'll get you one too to just.
Oh, okay, thanks. Okay. I could just go, can I go online? But you said it wasn't posted online anymore.
It's on the Facebook
It's on the Facebook.
page. Yeah, but this is one thing we've learned,
But
you know,
it's hard
we're
to
learning as
download
we
it,
go. So
yeah.
I think next year it'll be helpful if we, have these electronically like we did the tours, because some are getting dropped off here, some are being sent, and so, you know, we're learning as we go. But I can print both the parade form and the vendor space, and then I can leave some here for people to pick up, because that's a question I've been getting, so, I will do that. The other thing that we worked on that we were getting a lot of requests for was a schedule of events, so we put that together. And I can print out some of those as well, but from 10 to 3 on Friday, we have the disc golf tournament. From 1 to 3, we have Dr. Paula Cushing. Then we have the bike ride, parade, the educational pavilion. The activities that are listed are the 8-legged race, the Cornhole Tournament, the movie at Fox Theater, car show, tarantula, wood string craft at Kleinmaker Space, and vendor booths. And then we have the beer garden, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Kashari dancers, which we need to move that word off here. The Tarantula Fest bus tours, and then the bean supper also at Otero Museum. And
Oh,
then,
I got corrected. It's a chuck wagon dinner.
okay.
Not a bean supper.
So I'm not going to print this out because it's incorrect right now. So we'll get that fixed, and then we need to remove a word also on here. Okay. And then, like I said, the blunt full at Lidwell Park. So that's coming together. We will confirm.
I wonder if Daniel's gonna make it to a meeting so we know what other events.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was hoping we can fill out was the downtown activities, because it's a little, but I'm not sure what that looks like.
Is there anything, I mean, I know Paul is speaking from 1 to 3 and I've got another obligation for the Tarantula Fest at 1 o'clock, so
So there's really nothing else to it. It's going to be more of a meet and greet. If you've ever been to a lunch and learn, that's kind of the idea.
Okay.
We're followed by question and answers. And then if anybody on the committee, she said she'd be willing to take people out that evening, for anybody on the committee for maybe a special tour to give us more information for the tours the next day. She'll be
Okay.
able to help out with that. And I did send you the email last Wednesday at 12:39.
Okay.
Just so you can look for
Yeah.
it if you. And all it really was just a confirmation of when she was going to be here and what's happening. We don't have refreshments or anything set up, but I could easily get drinks there if we needed anything like that. If you felt like we should have it.
And then I think she sent you an email, but she's just gonna stay with me.
Right. So we don't need a hotel room, which is she's doing us a great service on that.
I think that's really all I have for updates on what we've been working on.
So I have the letter, it's all signed. I can, soon as I get the copy emailed to me, I'll forward it to you guys, and then the bus drivers should have copies of it with them. Tours.
Each bus driver? Okay.
And who are the 4 guides? Because you're gonna guide, Colleen's gonna guide.
Stevens and Kiefer.
Okay, Kiefer and Sue, Steve and Sue. Yeah.
We're splitting them up.
They're okay with that.
Where are we with t-shirts? Let's talk about t-shirts.
Yeah, still in the works. I've talked to her, we should be good, but I'll follow up and see what we want to do there. And then we also got some merchandise from Klein Makerspace that they're willing to let us sell. They made a really cool square, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like the sticker, but it's like a plastic thing that you can hang in your car that says Tarantula Crossing that we can sell. They have some really cool hats that have the tarantula on top. I'm wearing my Tarantula Tour.
Last week, it's
Yeah,
good.
it was really a hit, so we can have that for sale, and we figured out a way for payment, because that's been the tricky part of trying to find a way to collect the money, so we will have that, for the merchandise piece. On a broader scale, something I can mention that goes a little bit beyond, the Tarantula Fest, but something that came up as part of, I think, this conversation was a safety issue. And so the tourism board requested that we reach out to the state patrol and the sheriff and local police, and so I've done that, had some conversations with the state patrol. They're aware of that. It's, as you can imagine, like we're everywhere where it's a capacity issue, and but they are aware of that. We're going to do some safety posts on our social media and that they will then share, encouraging that. There were a couple of photos that were posted on an event of people literally laying in the ground, so I try to go on those and say we are not condoning this kind of behavior. In all the interviews that I've had with the media, we really have been stressing the safety piece of it, that we're not encouraging you to take out the tarantulas, pick up the tarantulas, stop in the middle of the road. So it is a message that we've been working hard to get across, but the conversations with the law enforcement as well, they're aware of this. So
Is that something that's part of the people who are doing the tours, that they will announce, like when people get off the bus, stay out of that? Is that part of it too? That's part of the spiel?
it will be, but I don't think we won't be stopping in the middle of the road.
Right,
So,
but
yeah.
if they start to wander, that's.
But yeah, I think the public and private property will be addressed on the tours, because that's been brought to our attention, as well as the safety, and really, and then again, leaving the wildlife wild and not encouraging them to pick them up and not encouraging them to take as pets, I think is really important. So I think we as the committee need to be really careful not to be picking them up and allowing us to take pictures with them, encouraging people not to, because that just spreads that message as well of encouraging people to.
There is a forum where we have that, and that's gonna be in the academic setting on
Perfect.
campus.
Yeah.
You'll have some specimens there
Yeah.
if they wanna see. But potentially handle them,
Yeah.
that might be a place to do it. You were gonna allow them to handle them?
We'll see. It really depends.
Not the Black Widow.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
the others.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things where obviously I'm comfortable doing it just through my research, but as a matter of like interacting with the public and stuff, we'll see. That's kind of a
Because it could be really overwhelming.
right.
Spider.
Exactly. That's the concern,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's a matter of what's the crowd, that sort of thing. So.
And you were talking at the Learning Commons at OJC?
Yeah. Wherever I'm
Wherever's
doing,
posted on.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I think.
Educational setting.
Right, exactly. I
Yeah.
think that's a thought, and especially if we approach it through that way of like, I don't mean it like this, but like I'm a professional. I'm the one
Exactly.
who's able
You
to
are.
do it because I know how to be
Yes.
safe with
Yeah.
them.
You should promote it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's how we're gonna promote it.
Fair enough.
Exactly. Exactly.
Whatever works. But yeah. Just on a fun note, I run into a lot of people out in the grasslands every day, and I've been telling them all about it, and a bunch of them are like, we'll have to come back for that, and things like that. So they're having a lot of good time out there and things like that. It's definitely, a lot of them have already heard of it as well. So it's getting around, and they're all from, I had one family from Evergreen, things like that. So word's definitely getting out, which is nice. So.
It was on Fox 21, Colorado Springs the other night.
Yeah. We just had another opportunity, and they reached out for some more promotions, but I told them we'll think about it next year, just because our tours are full at this point.
Right.
So we've got to. I think the goal of us having this to fill it out and doing it in a way that was that the committee could handle is working really well. So thank you for everybody's work on that.
But I was noticing on my auto tours the last couple of Saturdays that they're really out in the mornings pretty heavily too. We could actually do bus tours in the morning too next year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
That's what I can definitely give you guys. That's the entirety of my research. So I can give you guys times and places and things like that. So
Yeah.
I'll be really good for that.
And I think that has been the biggest interest of people, is being on the tours and the guided tours and being able to go see them. So I think being able to allow more opportunities and different times of day, I think will be really helpful.
Yeah, 4 buses in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, that'd be good.
When are the buses this year? What's the time for them?
They're departing at 4:30 from the
Perfect.
senior center.
Good
Yeah,
time.
yeah, and
Is that good? Is that a good time?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be really good.
All right.
I'm glad you didn't say no.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect.
and I think it'll end up being about, I think each of them was about an hour and 40 minutes of driving, but that allowed for time to stop in between, so probably end up being about 2-hour tours.
Perfect. Yeah.
Because both of the tours were very similar in distance when we.
Well, didn't you say, Rick, like sunsets like at 6:35 on that date or something, so
Yeah.
a couple hours.
Right.
So time is right, yeah,
Yeah.
time is right. And, I'll mention it, and I had talked earlier about, last year we did catch and release salamandering on one of the cattle ponds down there. And I thought about doing it this year, and we had salamanders in a bucket and people were quite interested in that. But I would ask for the reaction of the folks here.
Now send them all.
And it could be,
Yeah.
and it could be like a potential 5-minute stop at the kind of the juncture of like whatever Rourke Road and David Canyon Road or whatever. Down there, there's a big pond there, but I would get the reaction and people say, "Oh, that's not a good idea." But they're, the larvae. I mean, people catch them. They use them for bait, and we catch them and we put them right back in the pond. And they're quite interesting larval salamanders that are part of our wildlife.
So I think I'm not sure what y'all are talking about on tour, but I can definitely at least touch on like some of the wildlife and stuff that's also out there and things like that when y'all meet up with me, and because I see a lot of that stuff as well out there, and it's pretty fun. I feel bad for all the antelope hunters because I see them every single morning. I saw like a flock of 8 the other morning, and then like an hour later, bunch of guys flying past me, you know, and I'm like, you missed
Wow.
them. You know?
Or with the horns
Yeah.
sticking up out of
Yeah,
the
exactly.
out of the back of the pickup at that point.
Should that be maybe an option to include next year? I don't know. It sounds like maybe they've already got their routes.
I mean, it'd be on the route, but but if time is tight, then that's, you know,
It would only be on that one route though, wouldn't it? Because the other one's just
There's
going
two
down.
routes,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna.
It would
turn
on- it would be one
The
of
other
the
one's gonna
routes.
Turn it
I
in. so.
think you may have to go down 25 to hear his spiel, about 4 or 5 miles. We may have to change that route just a tad.
And I can jump around wherever. I really don't mind.
so I wonder, you know, you could have a salamander, and maybe that would be too much, but it could be at your station also with your.
Yeah, we can figure something out.
I think
I
to
mean-
have another stop, another whole different stop, is not, we're not gonna have enough time.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, the time is going to be
With-
too tight.
with Dallas, and then if we see, you know, 1 or 2 going across the road. I
Right.
don't know how that's gonna work, if we just drive by it slowly, we do a drive-by, or if we actually stop the bus and allow people to get out to see it.
I
Oh
would
wait,
think
you're
for the
talking
first
about
time
doing
to-
this on the bus tour? You're doing this on the bus tour?
See, well, last year we were down there. We happened to be, you know, we got some salamanders, and the tourists came by, and it was quite interesting. We have them in buckets. You know, you have them, you seine those cattle tanks, and you know, people use them for bait. We release them back into the ponds.
But
You know-
so you have to go off, you'd have to go off the beaten path, and we don't have a permit to do that
Yeah.
either.
I mean, it's right on the. It's not.
Please don't do it in
Yeah.
the livestock tanks. We already
I mean,
have like all these ranchers emailing us. But,
Uh huh.
Like, please don't do that.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm
So I
asking.
think
But I
the
mean,
answer
people
is-
do. Yeah.
Not this year. I
Yeah,
know.
not this year. Yeah, that's what I'm
We
good.
wanna
I'm
have a
good. Yeah.
conversation.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't give me a
I
hard
know.
time.
You're
Yeah,
one.
they're. Yeah, I know some of those ranchers though. They don't mind. You know, they come talk to me right there. You know.
Well,
Anyway, but I
you're
won't.
You, but
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, I'm
You're
good.
not- You're not a busload of people.
No, I'm not. No, true. True.
And my thinking is the first one we see, I'm gonna stop and let people get
That's
off
what
Yeah.
I thought,
pictures. I mean, if we see 3 more after that, yeah, we may get to the point we're doing drive-bys, but
I
that
have a
first
little
one.
plastic thing that's
definitely.
about like that I brought. So I thought
Yeah.
if we see one, I'm just gonna place it over it, then everybody can get off the bus. But we never saw one, because I thought, he's gone before we get the last person off the bus. But
Good idea.
yeah, it's all open on top, so he's not gonna suffocate.
Oh,
Just
they
kind of just
suffocate.
plunked right there. But yeah, I didn't ever get to use it. Then I didn't have to touch him.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I was just gonna corral him for a minute or 2, and then
Oh, I can teach you all how to properly corral.
there you go.
tarantulas if
Okay,
want.
well, I need that. Yeah.
Takes a really tiny lasso.
Exactly.
So is there anything else that we haven't thought of that we need to think of that, we're coming up on?
I think, you know, Angela's not here, but we talked about doing the spiders to different events downtown. And I did talk to, I miss her name, a gal from the college. She's in charge of the international. Maureen, that's it, Maureen. And she talked like maybe some of the student athletes might be willing to help us chalk those spiders in on the sidewalks. But
Oh,
I
to
gave,
chalk 'em, right, okay.
yeah, I
I
gave-
thought you were thinking about 3D printed. I was like, our 3D printers are
Oh,
no.
no.
So I can't
no,
promise
no,
you.
we have
We're
a
trying to get the
stencil
parts
and we
ordered,
wanted
but
to put spiders every so often so people know where to get to that.
She's a great resource for that because there's always students needing community service.
Yeah,
and
so
stuff,
anyway, I gave Maureen's card to Angela, and I don't know if she's had time to reach out to her or not, but that would be, I don't know if we would do that like Friday morning or Friday, I'm not sure yet, since Angela's not here, what she said, but we might need some help from the committee for that. And then I know that probably, I don't know how much you'll get done Saturday night, but we did talk about before meeting on Sunday and trying to clean things up, you know, if there's still trash downtown or
Downtown.
whatever. Yeah.
I wonder if the students might help unload. I mean, one possibility to unload the tables and chairs that we might need at Livewell or in that area. There's a trailer.
And I'm not sure where those are coming from. I know Angela.
Stewart is bringing them They're coming from another event.
Yeah, there's an event up in Eads on the 5th.
Yeah, and I mean the other day, Maureen we had like 60. We had a lot of college students that were helping out. But these were sports. These were like
Yeah, the athletes.
athletes. I mean they were serious.
So
Yeah.
like 5 chairs each, right?
It was yeah. I mean, well, heck, there were 60. We had 60 students.
Wow.
60 some, yeah. But
So
if
anyway,
we had a
hopefully-
fraction of that, maybe we could move. You know,
Yeah,
we
move
might be able to coordinate that.
Move chairs and
Tables.
paint and do spiders.
And do spiders.
Did Angela talk to you about either paint or chalk? She called me. I said I don't really know what you'd said something about you had some paint. It's
Chalk paint.
Chalk paint.
Yeah.
So
I haven't talked to her.
Oh,
further,
okay.
no.
Okay.
I volunteer to spray paint the sidewalks with tarantulas. I wanna do that.
Okay. I'd be happy to put the tarantula where it belongs, but I'm not getting on my knees to do it, so. Just saying. I'd be worthless next day.
I notice people paint BNSF train cars a lot. I wonder if you could do some stencils. I don't think that's necessarily allowed. It happens.
Well, and they're having that, well. you know
Exactly.
more about
The art
the
project.
big
Yeah.
art project, so sounds like there's gonna be some cool stuff. I don't
Yeah, it's
necessarily know if
looking-
it's tarantulas, but there's gonna be some neat art downtown that hasn't been, so.
Yeah, well, Zeke's put up a lot of tarantulas around town too, just because he's into them too. But
And I
yeah,
think they're doing the window painting contest too. I haven't seen much about that yet.
yeah, I wonder what registration's like on that.
I haven't seen much on it, so. Dennis, I don't have your phone number. Oh, good, thank you. I have your email. Okay. When I went to Rotary and I told them about your little tracking devices, they were always like, and I said, well, you need to have them come talk to your group, but I think they're about done for the year.
We talked to some students that went on that you were. Oh, here she comes.
Hey, look at that.
Oh
So do you
boy.
use little microchips for tracking?
Yeah, so they're itty bitty radio tags. And
How do you
they're
attach them?
super glue. So it's just sticky enough that it holds it on and they can't get it off, but it's just loose enough that I can pull it off and it just makes them hold.
Really?
Yeah.
On their backs?
Uh-huh.
Do you track just males or?
Yep, just the nails. So,
That is cool.
yeah.
How far they go, where they go, when they go.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's the tricky part is since it's radio tag and I have to chase them around with the little radio transmitter and it gets.
Can you only do one at a time or?
No,
can you
yeah,
have
I've got
different
multiple channels. and
channels,
things,
right?
yeah. But then they like to go into the burrows obviously, and then it's a little tricky trying to get a radio signal from inside of a burrow.
So some high school students, I guess, got to go with you.
Yeah.
Everett, you know,
Yeah.
kid in a wheelchair.
Yeah, Everett, yep,
you know,
yep,
he
yeah.
was one of the salamanderers last year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, no, there's
they loved it.
I'm working with Julia at the
Julia,
high school.
yeah.
And, we're doing some stuff with some of her kids and stuff. I was presenting in her class. the other
Thank
day.
you.
I think I see some signs of your projects.
Do you have an
Oh.
extra?
Sorry,
Yeah.
late guys, I was meeting with our beer distributor. And I don't know, I didn't say that.
Those are incorrect, so,
These,
yeah, so I need to get, yeah.
okay, they haven't been released anywhere yet, and that was the purpose of everybody getting one, to hopefully collectively, let's get it finished so we can get it
What
released.
is this called, chuck wagon?
Yeah, chuck wagon dinner.
Pam, did you have time to check into chalk paint?
I think that was the big change, is that should be
No,
chuck
okay, that's
wagon.
chuck
Sorry,
wagon
I
dinner.
missed that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I bought these because
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
I want to do the sidewalks and the
Oh,
crosswalks.
Let's see.
And
Oh,
when
how
I
fancy.
initially got these, I thought, they're too small.
That was cool.
I don't think those are too
Come on, come on.
Go big or go home.
Oh man.
So there's the destination.
So I got like a really big one.
And I thought that if we just put them all over,
Yeah.
it would really help with the aesthetic. Our beer trailer is done. I found a DJ who's willing to volunteer his services and run the main stage with Daniel at no cost. He's gonna be able to be with us until 3:30 that day. Pam, do you know how
Any
many-
chance I could steal one of those for the college and we can have spiders leading the way into the learning commons so people can know
You can
where to
certainly
go?
borrow it, absolutely.
I know, I would bring
Yes,
it back.
yes.
Temporarily steal
You can borrow one if we get 60 students to
it. Wow, that's a steep
Well, he
price.
just said he had 60 students, so I figured.
That's
I-
outrageous.
It was more than, we had more than we needed or wanted, but it was fun. It was fun.
Do we know how many vendors we've had sign up?
Well, that was something we talked about.
Sorry, I missed it.
That's okay. Probably, we've had 14 paid. Getting them turned into all one place is not happening, so just trying to figure out, to my email, I think I've received 8 to 10. The city's received 14 that have paid, so,
It's pretty good still.
we don't know the exact amount.
I'm willing to go through the whole list and call, say, did you pay? If not, I can come get it.
No, that's not, yeah. Some of them,
Bill
let's
collector.
make it easy. That's not the issue, it's that we have the information. So we're just, some of them might have paid, but they don't have the vendor form, so we just gotta sort through that. So I'm working that with the city.
Okay.
I think what we learned for next year is we need to make these electronic so that they all get input to a form, much like we did the tour, so that we can track it in one place. But
Great idea.
parade's kind of similar. And then one thing people noticed is we didn't have the date of the event on this, so I've been getting that question a lot. So, yeah,
That's
so,
great,
yeah.
great. Good job, Ange.
Yeah. But no, good response there. I did print some of these out. That's been the other question. It's been hard to have access to them on Facebook, so we can put out
Did you
there's
give her a parade
copies
one?
here. I have some more printing.
Okay.
But here's a parade one.
Okay.
And then I'll have some here at the city so that people can pick them up,
So who do we turn them into?
to the city of La Junta.
Even
or-
for the parade?
To the info at visitlahunta.net.
Okay. But it's hard to send this to you.
Then you can drop them off here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Or I can make a copy and send it to us.
You can snap a picture
That's
with
what I
your
mean.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Done.
Fill it out.
Whatever works. But yeah, they're collecting them here, so if people want to drop them off. I mean, I don't have an office, so it's not.
I visited with most of the downtown businesses in person. I gave them a flyer, I gave them a window decorating contest form. I gave them a parade entry form, just really trying to get them to buy in. I'm very much so stressing the fact that we have no food vendors, so they should be ready to roll. I hope it goes well.
You have one food vendor,
Who?
the Credit Bells and their spider cupcakes.
No, feed the whole population.
I need to ask you the same question I asked him. Did Ms. Stevenson get a hold of you about having her booth space? I mean, not for sales, but just for information. I asked her to, I'll call her again and ask her to reach out to. I wasn't sure if it should be Pam
She's
or
gonna
you.
be at the educational pavilion,
Yeah,
so probably Colleen.
so there will be space there. So she,
Oh, yes.
okay, so you're the person then that
Yes.
she does. Okay, because I gave her the wrong person. I had no idea.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I sent her a note earlier when she responded, she didn't think she was gonna be there. Then I said, well, I'll let Warren go.
Oh,
with
not,
her
no,
schedule.
this is Ms. Stevenson,
Oh,
not,
yeah.
not Paula.
And Paula sent her the information, but I haven't directly contacted her,
Okay.
so maybe.
Did you
I
get
should-
her contact information? I know you sent it to me, I just didn't know.
Yes, I do have it.
Okay, maybe reach out to her. I
Okay.
did last week and asked her
Okay.
to contact you guys, but
Okay.
I just knew she wasn't a vendor, so I wasn't quite sure
Right, yeah, no,
which
she was
avenue
supposed
to
to be
go.
at the educational.
You guys aren't, no, because.
And
well,
you'll know who's at you're kind of in charge of keeping track of who's going to be at the educational pavilion. and maybe I'll talk to you after the meeting, because I've got these maps, and I might even, you know, sort of halfway donate them, halfway, if there might be a venue to be able to make them available.
Right, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've heard back from 6 of them. Well, I did write down the Kosharis. I do have Canyons and Plains.
Yeah, we can. And
We'll
then,
have a little table for the Kosharis. So I think I had about 10. So I'm hoping all 10 show.
So now is the time to freak out over minute details. What are we doing at the main stage? I kind of gave it to Daniel. Daniel's been really swamped with work, so.
So I'm sorry, tell us about that again?
We're gonna have the main stage, and I haven't called about a flatbed because we
You're good, I have
don't
those.
have
I have
equipment
those.
yet.
Okay,
So now
I'll-
that
I'll
I've done
take
that,
this.
I'll call for that.
Pass it on.
Thank you.
They're gonna be setting up to announce the parade, just kind of the happenings throughout the day. He's gonna be able to be there from 8 until about 3:30. The band is going to be playing from I don't know what time. I thought it was 5 to 11. That's a long time. Maybe it's 7 to 11. So we might need to figure out what's gonna be happening in those couple of hours where there's no anything going on. The beer distributor said that they can create a couple of banners for us to hang up. Keep in mind they will have beer logos on them, but they can have those to us as early as Thursday if we tell them what we want on it. Seven to 11 is when the band is playing.
Okay. So that needs to be updated on this as well. And so do we know, these are the other things we had on here, but do we know, like, the 8-legged race, do we know times for some of the Cornhole Tournament, the movie, the car show?
That'd be a good time for the movie, maybe at 3.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. I'll talk to bands.
Yeah, 3:30. If they were at the Shari show
Koshari,
from
yeah.
1 to 2 or from 2 to 3.
Yeah, maybe 3:30.
I did add on here, brought to you by Klein Makerspace and Lahana Trading. I wanted to give them credit for participating. I'll add the DJ's name to this as well. 8-legged races is gonna be an Edward Jones, Joe Ayala thing. The Cornhole Tournament, we're live,
Yes, ma'am, sorry.
is gonna be taking place at the Colorado Workforce Center parking lot. We're still in discussion on whether or not it's going to happen. Apparently, they can't cornhole without beer.
And dancing.
So, I did let them know that they're just a door away from the garden, and it's pretty convenient, and they can hear what's going on. So I'm hoping that we'll have a large enough turnout to sustain that. But I will double check for sure. And I heard the car show's still happening, but I don't know what time they're gonna be set up. I hope it's early. I can call and verify that as well. What else are we changing on here, Pam?
It's just the Kashari dancers, we need to remove them at a word. It's called the Chuck Wagon Dinner, not the bean supper. We need to, where the Tarantula Fest bus tours, where it says pre-registration required, we need to put sold out.
I put tours are full. I didn't wanna
Okay.
put sold, cause it
Perfect.
implies that we, right.
And then the time of the Bluntful, we had 7 or 8. Are we requiring pre-registration, Stephen, or if people show up the way?
We're not.
Okay, so
And
then
I'm
we-
putting up some flyers. I've got some up in Rocky Ford, probably some other towns, and we've got some cycle. You know, I don't know what the turnout's going to be, but it's first year, and
then
they
is
they
the
don't have
time-
to sign up, huh?
Is it, I was just saying, is the time correct from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. for the beer garden?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what it is
Some
on
of
the beer
those-
permit.
Okay, some of those they just put the,
On that vendor form, I wrote it, but what did I put in for the time? I think I said they had to be set up by
9 o'clock.
9 and they had to be there till 5. So I'll add those times in.
Okay, perfect.
I also purchased blank yard signs that I'm gonna put a tarantula on, and I'll put car show, just so people, if they're walking around town, they kind of know what they're looking for. I'll put a little sign that says Educational Pavilion right there by Seco News to kind of direct them down toward there. Hopefully they can help find their way. I'm just trying to think if I was new here, what would help me?
Yeah, I think we can remove our sunflowers because they're about dead. And you can just put the sign in there with the marigolds.
And that time is correct, right? 11 to 3 for the information for that.
Yes.
Education. So state works.
I thought that way at 3. That's 4 hours for them to be there.
Yeah, that's the Forest Service, and then
Did Paula, the guys who used fire
That was in the news release that was sent out by Otero College, but we can.
What would be better?
that works for me. I was just curious.
No, apparently not.
What was your
No.
correction there, Donna?
We don't know what
I just wanted to stuck or cushion type. It makes sense to me. I was just making sure that
And,
it
Okay.
makes sense.
and that would be
Okay.
fine. I mean, you know, and
I just want to make sure I don't have any inaccuracies on the website.
Yeah, so that's just like what it is.
And I've got this
Yeah, this was the
printed
release
up.
that they sent out. so
But I mean, if we
copied
can
it.
spread, we're trying to get out, just kind of spread the word, get a,
Right.
some kind of turnout first year.
You know.
You know.
It's on my
Would you
website
like
too.
it?
So,
Clean Valley's Recycling
Oh, okay.
is sponsoring, but what are they doing for their sponsorship?
We are giving a sticker, not much.
I mean, I
Yeah, I'm having these stickers made
I might not have been.
at Signs and Designs,
Okay.
and they
I
are.
might have to go back and look, but if you don't mind sending it again.
I could show you a picture of it.
There's my additional changes.
I thought you said you guys were doing like granola bars and water
Yeah,
and
we're
stuff
gonna.
for
Yeah,
the riders.
In fact, one of our
So-
riders has already just out of his. He's just purchasing the the water, and we'll probably These guys have offered to pay for anything that we need.
So we're doing the Tarantula Fest bike ride sponsored by.
Clean Valley
And
Recycling.
I've tried to steer away from sponsored because sponsored to me means that they're giving the group money. So I've been
Yeah.
saying brought to you by.
Yeah, and to me, I'm kind of new. Yeah, I remember our discussions, and and one thing that I thought would be good is that it's not my bike ride, and it's but we're and so and we're also recycling. I guess we're going to recycle at the event. That's another thing that Clean Valley is going to for free recycle at the whole event.
So are you going to
That's
be
nice.
bringing those recycled totes, those green
Yep.
ones down?
The big blue ones.
Oh, they're blue.
They're brand new group bins.
Cool.
We've got a bunch of
Cool.
them on a grant. So we're also gonna do the art anyway. But they just this way it's not just my name out there. That's part of it. I mean I've got my name on here to be called.
Well, this is the only one that's really important. We'll have to Tarantula Fest.
Yeah, but and I remember this at the beginning.
Okay, so I'll add brought to you by Clean Valley Recycling. Is there anything else we need to change on this? Any further suggestions on what we could be doing throughout the day on the main stage to occupy time? I did ask him to play some music in between.
Are you gonna add that main stage thing there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I will.
That- Yeah.
Well, once we find out what they have planned, Daniel and his wife, I might fill in. Didn't you say they were gonna be in charge of the events or
So
something?
initially, yes.
Oh, okay.
As of right now, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just trying to fill in as much as possible. So hopefully we can improvise the rest.
Okay. I did mention at Rotary the Harry Lake contest, and they all got a hoot out of that.
Good.
That isn't on there, but that should be pretty easy to do.
That was mentioned on Fox 21.
Yeah, so I think
All right.
I think we need the Harry Lake contest.
Do we want to put a time in for that?
Maybe if you have a spot in the afternoon that
Or
you're.
I guess we can put it down here somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
No, did everyone quit shaving? I mean,
We could do like trivia
sorry.
about, Southeast Colorado or about Hunza or history or, I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff you could get trivia nerds involved in out here.
Probably like a cakewalk, but they have, when they miss, they're off the stage or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Angela, here's this. If you just this is
If we
the
find out
riders
what
will
time
get, and
he's at.
we're gonna just print them up, and we
Right.
don't have a date on it.
That's cool.
We don't have
Can't
a
figure
year
out
on it because
3:30
we don't know how many people are
3:30.
gonna show up.
If
Did
people
it
wanna
have
go
a
on the
few
tour
minutes
at
extra.
4:30, so it's
They
gotta be
barely,
early.
I mean, she
Yeah.
better put them in there.
Don't,
Yeah.
I
Robbery.
doubt that the
Is that
movie's
right?
longer
Thank
than
you.
an hour. Those older movies.
Right, it's no, it's no longer than an hour and a half.
And remind me why the Kasharis, it was their choice to be at the, because are they selling tickets to that show?
Yes, like I said,
And you said not many food vendors. Do we need to invite some food trucks?
Well, I talked to the candy shop, they were all about it. I talked to Copper Kitchen again. They were gonna stay open their regular hours. The pizza shop did not seem happy that he was gonna be so overwhelmed. He makes his dough. It takes a long time to make it in advance. I said, how much do I make? I don't
Okay.
know. So he was a little on the fence about that. I just spoke to Soco Froyo today. They're gonna be opening up earlier, doing crepes and things like that, some tarantula kind of themed food. I spoke to the barista, Bamboo Panda, Stephen Tommy's is in, so they're the ones that are kind of centrally located, so I'm hoping,
I wonder about later.
that's a great question.
And I mean, Lucy's will be open, also they're around the corner. Are they ready? Do they know? I mean, who knows?
They handle the crowds on
They're
Friday
always
and
ready.
Saturday. They're
They
ready.
always do, they're always ready.
They're ready.
Do we need extra event, I mean, do we need food trucks from
80 minutes.
anywhere? or
80
are we-
minutes run time.
Really? That surprises me.
Hour and 20 minutes.
I figured it'd be like 50.
And what, is that the movie? Is that the name of the movie? 'Cause
Yes.
It is.
Tarantula.
That
Tarantula.
I need to add that there.
1955.
55.
55. Water trouble. I told Dean it's 52.
And I'm so hoping that they'll get those moldable spiders and put them on the marquee. I'm hoping for that in like the best way. I'm like, please, let's do this. Every night, and it gets chillier and chillier. I'm like, knock it off, go on.
Hopefully they'll let us throw things at the parade. I bought a ton of black little spider rings.
I'm sure we'll be okay. Other than they will provide wristbands for the beer garden. We have to get tickets. I can handle that. He gave us some price suggestions as where we need to be to benefit. They aren't gonna have any issues getting that little trailer up into Livewell. They have the electric that they need. The only thing I was concerned about is if we have a flatbed trailer somewhere, like we had originally discussed, we're gonna need a secondary power source, which then in turn comes with putting out that utility trailer. So I didn't know if we still wanted to go that route. I was looking outside Livewell, if we put the DJ right in front of the workforce center in between the gate at Livewell and the parking lot where the Cornhole Tournament is, that's still pretty visible. It's not elevated, but you can plug into that power source right inside Livewell. So I don't know what thoughts were on that.
It's nice if they're elevated just because, you know, if you're across the square, you
You
can
can
kind of
see
see
exactly where they are.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think like a small trailer would work. It needs to be something that's up higher.
We can still certainly do it. I just have to get the electric trailer out in advance and let them know so they can run it off of one of the poles, and they'll probably dictate to me where it needs to be. So I can check on that. If anybody is out and about this weekend, please go check out the art project. We're learning, we can adapt and borrow. I'm all for that too. I am gonna have
Alright.
signage out, one of those little yard signs saying the art project, pointing that way. It's something to see, something to do, just something else to highlight for our area.
Thank you.
Oh, I think it's super cool, so.
And when does the window decorating begin? This week? Next week?
It's already on.
It's on.
They
Okay.
have to have everything decorated by October the 5th.
Okay.
And I have For the parade, I bought those big spider pillows that'll have Tarantula Fest first place, and then for the window decorating contest, I have little plaques that I'll make up, just something super simple. What else do we have?
So on the beer garden, serving, collecting money, all that stuff, have we talked about that?
So Tri has volunteered to do some of the time.
Okay.
They don't want any money given to them, they just want to be able to put out a jar for Toys for Tots.
Okay.
We probably have 5 ladies in our group, with a couple of others we can designate to help if we need to, but we might need some extra people to serve. Because 11 to 11 is a long time. And I plan on having a booth space as well. Go ragged or go home, I guess.
I think that's our next step is we just need to make sure we're thinking about all the details and logistics for all these little things. And that's where I'm at. I feel like the Tarantula Tour folks need to get together and really talk about that and how we're gonna wrangle like 75 people. Before you were
I'm
here,
so excited.
we talked about, there's been some concern of people going on private property when we're on the tours. We're gonna make sure that that's taken care of and that the script is very clear about that. So I just think at this point, if we can make sure we have enough coverage for the beer garden, because as far as the committee's concerned, I feel like half the committee's gonna be on tours.
We all have like a function.
Yeah.
Education pavilion.
Yeah, so, just making sure that we know where there's holes and if we need to start recruiting other volunteers. we
And
can do
maybe
that.
I can reach out to the chamber to see if some other directors will help us man the beer garden since they didn't want a super large hall.
And it might just even be helpful to put together a, if we're talking 11 to 11,
A time.
2 or 3 hour shift. I mean, 2 hours is probably okay. But just so, again, we have all those details covered.
So we will have,
I gotta go, I'll be happy to do a meeting or whatever with, for tour guides.
Okay.
I mean, we need to wait for the keepers to come back anyway.
Yeah, so,
as it stands, are
What
we
day
still
they get
planning
back,
on
so.
the next Tuesday?
so maybe
And
we can.
The last
I have
Tuesday.
them
Oh no!
Too much, you
Oh
need to
no!
Say what you want. That's what I did. I just
So
took
Friday,
some of your
never
information
again. Friday.
and used it.
Right, the Friday of.
You're not gonna have any
Right.
problem doing your San Pedro thing. I don't think Sue will either. Steve, he's probably gonna talk about wildlife. I mean, we're gonna talk about what.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Before the meeting next Tuesday, the committee for the tours.
Yeah, you want us to meet at noon?
Yeah, maybe, because there's probably talking
Okay.
that evening and I don't
So-
want it to.
Yep, that would be
Can you
fine
meet at
next
noon?
Tuesday.
Yep.
Are you talking noon instead of 1?
No, this will
Just
be
for-
for
Oh,
the
just
tour.
just for that. Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so,
fine.
okay,
Do
Right
that.
here again?
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, we can
And
do
we'll
that.
tell the keepers, they'll be
Yeah.
back, I think.
I can email them too, or do you want it?
I can send her a note.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Bye,
Thank you.
Fred.
See ya.
Okay.
It's coming together. People are excited.
There you go.
I've seen it everywhere, and it's exciting and very scary, all at the same
I was
time.
telling them, when I'm out there every day, like every person I talk to, I'm like, about Tarantula Fest? They're like, yeah, probably gonna try and come back. I was like, good, you should.
Perfect, okay. Well, in every media interview I've had on the larger tarantula season, we've made sure to mention that. And it is, if you haven't taken a look at the Tarantula Trek page on Visit La Junta, I encourage everybody to do so. We've gotten that up and running, and we did add the video and stuff for this as well. So,
I think that the Facebook has been getting, it sends me the insights since I can see it now, and it's like 7,000 people, like, ooh, scary.
Oh.
It's great, it's terrifying, I love it.
I have to go on the food truck thing. I wonder if we shouldn't invite some for after 3 or 4 o'clock.
Yeah, we need some food.
I don't
And
know
then-
if it's fair to dictate to them, hey, can you come later in the evening? You're gonna miss the whole day crowd on purpose. I don't know. I have 2 people in mind that I know if I called them and said, hey, they would do it at the drop of a hat. So give it a little more thought and see what we think.
What about that new carniceria in Rocky Ford? You can't ask them.
They're on this end.
The what?
I'm on this end of town.
Yeah.
They're
Carniceria,
in Rocky
yeah.
Ford, yeah, on the eastbound side of Highway 50.
I just saw
They
that.
just opened.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Are they?
Yeah.
Saw them yesterday.
Yeah. They're El Pastor is amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe they would be willing to. They would maybe like the business. Hopefully, they make awesome pozole. If they just sold bowls of pozole, I think everybody would be happy. Yeah.
Not everybody likes pozole.
Yeah. Well, more people like it than like menudo, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
And I know
But-
that some of the other restaurants have, offered to stay open later. Stephen Tommy's is gonna be open.
Okay,
So,
good, so they'll be there.
They're ready to
Until
rock and roll.
11?
As long as they have people.
Okay.
And the art project is having how many food vendors, or do you know yet? I'm just as
Zeke's
comparison.
got the list, yeah.
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 Few.
Yeah, I think just a couple of them, but what he tried to do is get food that was different than what's available at the standing businesses downtown.
Mhm.
Because we figure we're going to have people who are going to go get pizza and Lucy's and all that, and
Mhm.
the Bamboo Panda, because it's just built in. You're going to smell the Bamboo Panda and have to go eat it regardless.
Yeah.
This is going to be open, right? I mean,
Yeah.
It's a Saturday night. They'll be open till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do we know yet about, what about
Yeah. It's a great little
tamale place?
I sent him the information. I haven't heard a whole lot back on
Yeah.
whether he's in or out. I can reach out to him again and
Yeah,
see.
because he could make some money, serve some food.
So I sent you Maureen's information about getting some of the college kids to help with this. Did you get a chance to call her? Do you want me to call her?
I didn't call her because I don't know where we stand with paint. I wanted to ask
Sure.
where we are with that because I want to give him the tools I need and then let him.
Yeah.
And really,
Oh, okay.
so I needed to do that still too.
Loud and clear.
So I needed to clear that, and I figure if we just say, hey, we're doing this, and if they don't object right then, done.
Well, I don't know how well the chalk paint stays on, so I don't know that we want to do it too soon either. So, but it's somewhere, I just need to find it.
So did it Friday morning, you think?
I'm not planning on doing anything Thursday, Friday, it's all tarantula. My whole schedule is like clear. This is all we're doing. I'm really excited. I hear Zeke's supposed to be doing Stephen Tommy's windows downtown for
Yep.
the window decorating contest, so I imagine an eye-catching thing. I really hope.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat design.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got a spider on it?
Yeah, it's got a spider on it.
I have,
Okay, cool.
I have not, and I don't know if we get them to move from their brick and mortar location, then we run into health department issues and they have to get like a food truck cleared and approved before they can come and just sell their food because it is food.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to run into any of those issues. Even when food trucks come to events, they have to have their health inspection before they come.
Oh, they can't just set up like a group of tables and like cook it up
No,
like a grill.
Especially if they're selling it.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
They have to have
It's
that
much
little.
like the permitting the U.S. Forest Service.
And they have to have a sticker that's visible in their truck or wherever they are stating that their truck has passed the health code inspection.
Not a roach coach.
Definitely not.
It's not Mexico. In Mexico, they don't have to have all
No,
that.
I don't
It's
know.
a lot of fun.
I don't know about any of that.
It's a lot of fun down there.
So what else, I mean, I know that morning, I know I'm gonna be helping our vendor space get set up. Is there anything the committee needs to do like at 8 a.m.?
So
Do we need to be there
Yeah,
to
well,
help vendors get
question.
set up? Well, you won't be there.
I think what we need to do in advance is, once we get a good idea of how many we have, we need to line out the booths, and I need to be able to get an email sent to the vendors with their number,
Okay.
as well as the parade. The parade could be, I don't know how many people we have, it could be first come, first serve, wherever you are, great. I'm totally okay with that too. But at least for the vendors, I know there's one oversized entry.
We've got another one that requested, I think we have two that requested 2 spaces.
So we wanna make sure that we accommodate them, or even if we put them, you know, that little block's gonna be blocked off, if we put them special on, in front of the uptown building, cause it's still a work in progress. They have more space, they're close to the other vendors, maybe something of that, but we have to be able to tell them where they're gonna be.
And where do you want the photo thing? Do you know? Is it gonna be down there by the trailer, or is it gonna be by uptown?
That's a great question, I have no idea.
Okay.
I would love to have it somewhere that's gonna be super utilized.
Okay.
But I did reach out to the 2 photographers on that corner to see if maybe they were gonna invite people in to do some sort of mini shoots
Mhm.
for a fee or whatever they wanted to do, but I haven't heard back from them yet, so.
Okay.
To be determined.
It's just heavy, so wherever we want it, that's where we'll try to get it delivered.
What about, at the courthouse, where they have that little middle entryway, there's kind of a larger space there? Do you think that would be utilized?
It's like right off the sidewalk, is there that entrance on the side, or?
So from the street, there's like where they used to do like a flag ceremony out there, and then you can go forward to like that south door.
Okay, that might be a good spot.
I'm up for wherever.
Okay.
And then I just remembered, is the senior center gonna be open at 8 that we can get in and use the
Yes,
restroom?
yes.
Okay, that's all good?
Yeah,
Okay,
there's gonna be folks there from probably before that, but they'll be there definitely at 8 till the buses come back,
fantastic.
probably, or the buses leave or something.
So I also have on my list, they don't bring extra toilet paper for the potties. Don't ask me why this is burned into my event soul, but we have to have extra on hand so someone at some point can do the rounds, because I've done an event where I didn't think of that. It was terrible. So that and trash cans, having more trash cans put out for the event, but.
And we'll try to put our recycling bins next to the trash cans. I mean, we usually pair those up, so
Cool.
we have a choice. Those will be in place by when, any idea when those will be in place by, so we can come behind, and that would be good.
I'm gonna visit with them right after this.
Sure.
See what I can find out.
Okay.
Is there anything else I'm forgetting?
The only thing is, we mentioned Sunday for cleanup. Do you have a time in mind, that we all meet down there and just do a walkthrough of every place where we've been and make sure it's cleaned up?
I don't know, is it supposed to be hot? Is it cold? Could be
It's gonna
Colorado.
be perfect fall
Yeah.
weather.
I mean, we can do like an 8 AM cleanup. I'm okay.
Oh, okay.
I find that if I just get it done in one fell swoop,
Mm-hmm.
then the moment I'm done with it, I can be done with
Yeah,
it.
sounds
The
good.
beer trailer won't get picked up until that Monday. I did talk to them about my concerns of leaving it for an extended period of time. However, there is lighting down at Livewell Park. I noticed that today. That should help deter some things. He thought it would be fine, but he's gonna see if he can get us an earlier pickup date. They used to do big inflatables, like beer cans as well. They don't do that anymore, but we have a spot we can put the big tarantula spider I bought.
8 AM, and are we gonna just meet at Livewell to start with?
Yeah. And I guess we should probably bring like trash bags.
Mm-hmm. Gloves.
Mhm.
There's still candy wrappers from the last parade, I noticed downtown. I don't know how that'll.
Well, that's what we want to avoid.
Saving it for later.
Yeah.
We don't want to leave it in a mess. So.
Yeah,
Pam, did we decide if we were gonna have shirts?
Yes, need shirt sizes from everyone, from the committee, and I don't know if we just even want to start a shirt sheet. Do you have an extra?
Say that
Sure,
fast.
she-
Yeah. Everybody puts their size down and then, try to get those ordered. And I don't think you were here when I mentioned that I met with, Clay Makerspace, and they're allowing us to sell some of their tarantula swag that they have, tarantula hats, plastic window hangers.
And is that gonna be in the pavilion? Is
I
that
think
what she
so.
said? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the best way, because we've got I think we're gonna be able to have a square reader and a square system, so we'll need the Wi-Fi and
One or two tables.
probably just one. And then I think that table can be the same table we use for the Tarantula Tour check-in. We can just kind of maybe make it a visit one, the table that has the merchandise, and then we'll be able to, there's some stickers that we'll be able to sell.
Okay. And then is that gonna, the board's gonna run that? How's it gonna work?
Well, that's another thing we need to,
I don't know
Yeah.
how much time I can do there, but.
I think
See if
I can see,
switch it.
I
don't-
could probably be there during, and this is why I think we need to have some conversations, maybe next Tuesday, about all of those, where are people gonna be and at what times.
Can we reach out to the FBLA at the high school? They run the Tiger merchandise booths. Is that something they can help us with? I don't know if we're comfortable with that, but it's a good opportunity for them to get some hands-on experience.
But if you're gonna be at the pavilion,
I'm gonna be in and out of the
and
pavilion.
I think we can, cause the money thing is, I don't know if we know how that's gonna work, so I'm not sure that we can have anybody else help us with that,
I see,
because we
I
might be using a different vendors. It just,
I would
we
say
can
I
talk-
could be there from 11 to 12:30.
okay,
Then I have to go to another booth to run it for a while.
Okay.
So I'll just say early, then I'll be there when all the vendors are there. Inspiration Field's gonna cater it for me, so all that should be there that morning.
and maybe we just need something similar to the beer garden. We need to have a sheet, to make sure that that's covered, and if you're able to be there from 11
Yeah,
to noon,
I'll
and
write myself another
Yeah.
note here.
then,
Yeah.
cause you're gonna be at will you be at the information pavilion, so, and I can.
How many's gonna be from, is it just, you said it might just be you, or do you think
It'll be Nancy,
Oh,
and
okay.
me, and our Lana, our new public affairs officer.
Oh, okay, so maybe 4?
Yeah, 3 or 4
3 or 4,
people.
okay.
And then Daniel and I will drift in and out.
Okay, so I'll put down 6. That's good. Okay, is one table enough for you guys?
And Anthony will be Smoky Bear, so 7.
7, okay, cool.
Hmm.
I'm gonna put down
Why
2
not?
tables.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
have
Free
folks their
stuff.
merchandise?
Well, we'll have swag.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have some swag.
And that's something we'll probably want, like, introduced during the main stage every hour or so, but if you haven't, go stop by the education pavilion
Okay.
on the senior, at the senior center, as well.
And I guess I'll see if Daniel's gonna be able to still run that, because he's great at just improvising what we need out there. So if not, his cousin's actually the one donating his time and equipment, so I'll have a conversation with him about saying, hey, if you're looking for somewhere to eat, these are open. If you haven't visited the educational pavilion, do that. You know, they can talk about how the museum is open, how they can purchase tickets to go see the Kasharis. There's lots to see and do.
Yeah.
Bring it back downtown, the beer garden.
Oh, yeah, and I did talk to the library. She hasn't sent me a note, but they're still planning on having the kids' corner and doing something fun. I'm not sure exactly what, but
I'm doing something with them on
Do we
Tuesday.
have
how are
that?
you?
I know on Friday.
Are they at the educational pavilion?
Yes.
Okay,
So
perfect.
we don't need anything extra for that.
You're just all over the place. That's so nice of you to do that.
Will we have anything at the educational pavilion, like at the door saying who's inside, so we can give them a little bit of credit, or is it something for future ideas?
I can try to put something together. See if I can find like a big chalkboard thing or something that I could write on, or a big,
And they might have a whiteboard. down
yeah,
there.
they might,
whiteboard or
yeah,
something.
that we
Yeah.
can
There you go, that's a
use.
good idea.
Or we can, if you're able to, we can print some and tape it to it.
Yeah.
Before I forget, I'm gonna make you all accountable with me. Don Rizzuto would like to join our committee next year. Do not let me forget.
Okay. Write it down.
He's in, so. He wanted to be in this year and I forgot to call him.
Uh-oh.
I'm
It's not
sorry.
too late.
I did tell him that. He's like, you guys are doing a good job. I'm like, I know.
He has a very nice speaking voice, so you could pull him up on the trailer or something.
The former mayor, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Neighbor over here, yeah.
Anything else? So we're gonna have these down like for like where the volleyball farm's at?
Yeah, I think I'll just have them with Debbie down there.
And hindsight, we should plan that a little better. One more for next.
Well, we were building it as we were, what's the saying? We were building the boat as we were, or the airplane as we were, so I mean, it's just stuff
We
we've
took
learned.
off and we were
Yeah,
like, well,
yeah.
we're gonna have this.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah, I think it'll be helpful for her to have them, so if they do come in and pay and they don't have that form,
We can get one.
or if people reach out, because a lot of people have been reaching out and they're not able to get
I don't
them
know
on
why they
Facebook.
can't get it.
So, just to be able to point to a location of where we have them, we think will be helpful.
Okay.
So,
You
And-
can click it on, but you can't fill it in. And-
Yeah, it's not an interactive form.
Right,
It's just a
so I had to
package.
copy it and paste it into a Word document, then download it, but then I sent it to Ree, but it got all funky when she tried to
See,
print it.
and when I
so-
did it, I just clicked it, printed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I
I was
emailed
like-
it. I was like, done.
yeah.
See, different people.
Well, I could have done it too. I was trying to figure out how to get her a copy of it though, or tell her where it was at.
I think we'll be a little better. for
So
it.
who else are we missing today? Rick Wallner,
The
Warren,
Kiefers. Oh yeah, and the Kiefers.
and
I need
Sue.
to send them a note about this time too.
Is there anybody else that didn't?
Read
Ed
on t-shirt, is that
comes
t-shirts?
sometimes, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Ed.
Okay.
I don't know if he plans on helping.
Okay.
So. Right. I have a couple of these. If anybody wants these, I thought I handed them out everywhere, but in case
I'll
you
take
have
some
it.
back in my car. Windshield.
Can I do one yet?
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
it's
I-
up.
Maybe I'll take one. And then Dallas, maybe I'll give you,
You're gonna reach out.
Do we have one of these?
Joe, please, and I mean, you know,
Do you want me to?
and then, here, let me give you this other one.
Someone did a good job designing
Yeah, I
that
mean,
flyer.
yeah, I was selling, I had to, yeah, a couple little final edits and it was like famous at that point. It's like,
Nice.
really, not, and then,
Tarantulas at sunset.
yeah, I mean,
Beautiful.
it's, the color is good. The color's so good.
There next to me.
So, and Dallas,
All right.
if you talk to anyone.
For the
you know,
La Junta Tarantula Fest Committee, I'm Adrian Hart with your Southeast